so I'm going to start the recording. You're now live. It's going to take me a minute to copy and paste this into.
I'm on an iPad, so last time I wasn't able to jump back and forth to help with the notes because it just didn't let me do it for some reason. I can try again. Maybe it's just something I'm not doing correctly.
It should work. You're still on the iPad, yes?
I am, sir, yes.
Okay. Well, I can try to keep up with notes. Let me just send a quick post.
Last time I tried to do it and it threw me somewhere. I wasn't really sure what it was doing to me.
All right, so I'm going to open up the notes real quick and share my screen. It's just the two of us today, Rick, so I think it can be a pretty quick meeting, but we can run through a couple things.
Yeah, I've got one I want to talk to you about.
Okay, great. So today is July 4th or July 1st. Excuse me. Just the two of us. I will fill that in later. In terms of updates, Rick, I saw that you had shared, you heard back from 50 Legs. You want to give us a quick update on that?
Yeah, actually that went a little better than I thought it would. I actually got a hold of the director, I think was his title. His name is Chris Lambert, and we spoke on the phone. He seemed open. He knew about e-NABLE. He seemed open to working with us, and he and I chatted. However, I also got a hold of, I'm gonna read my notes here, sorry, Steve Chamberlain. He's the actual founder of 50 Legs. He started the whole thing. And I have his cell phone number that he sent me. However, because I don't know that I have the depth in e-NABLE that someone like John or yourself would have, I'm not sure I'm the one that should make the call with Steve. I didn't mind talking with Chris, but I want to make sure his time is utilized the best way possible. And maybe someone like John or you or Jeremy should make that phone call. He's open to doing it. I just don't want to waste his time and have to go through me.
I think if you wanted to coordinate it and just CC John, I mean, you could also CC Jeremy and I, but John's a good person for that stuff.
Yeah, that's what
without him being here, I'm just going to volunteer him.
Yeah, I was thinking, both of them are founders. They're both kind of top of the food chain, apex, in the respective companies, and someone like John would be able to answer questions, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't. I just haven't been around as long, and I don't want to waste Steve's time because he's not an easy guy to get a hold of, and I don't want to just keep scheduling things, like that. I think that someone like John would be perfect, founder to founder.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, if you want to just reach out to John and
I'm not sure you guys are getting my emails. I sometimes email you guys, and I'm wondering if I'm, like, sometimes I'll reply to it. Like today I tried replying to one of your emails, and I don't know if they're not getting there or what. I have no problem doing that. I just want to make sure John gets it. If
right.
There's something I'm not doing correctly.
Okay, I did get it. I thought you guys might like this. So yeah, your emails are arriving.
Yeah.
Your name comes up as Google Mail. So when it says it's from Google Mail. So that might be something. If you change it to your name, it might be easier.
Okay. I know you guys set me up with an e-NABLE Google Mail.
That'd be great.
Okay, I can do that, or just append it each time, because maybe nobody even knows who it's from and it's going in a spam bucket or something. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I think it'd be a really good idea to get those two talking.
Great. That sounds really good.
But I have his
So-
cell number. He gave me his cell and everything, which I thought was awesome.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah, so definitely fill us in on how that goes, but follow up with John. You can CC Jeremy and I too. And yeah, maybe let the founders connect. Good thinking. Okay, so for adventures in the hub, we've got a couple new posts this week. I'll click through some of them, but we've got a new team in Waterloo, and a couple other posts I'll zoom into next. Looking at the metrics, we've got it looks like 14 new users this week. In terms of statistics, it's all pretty similar. 4 new posts in the hub, 18 likes, yada, yada, yada. Let's look up the new member space. We can see where some of these folks are from. So we've got folks from the US, Canada, Colombia, Brazil, Sri Lanka, as well as New Zealand, Panama. It's a pretty international group this week. So welcome everybody. Rick is going to be helping us with the new member meetups moving forward, which is great. So this coming month, we'll be doing, we'll be showing John's video, but the new leader for that monthly event will be Rick. So awesome. Thanks for doing that. And I think it'll be a really great way to connect the dots between some of the help desk tickets and you know, it could also be possible just to try to get some of those folks from the help desk to join you,
Yeah,
you know, to meet you in person. And we've talked in the past about trying to do some sort of concierge stuff, however you say it. But instead of doing it individually, trying to meet with each person, it might be worthwhile to just sort of batch it together and say, okay, this is the time every month. If you have any additional questions, you can meet each other, and this is an opportunity for getting oriented.
Yeah, and plus I don't want to misdirect someone. So I think for me to go through that training to make sure there's continuity, you know, in what everyone's being told, I think it's a super good idea.
Great. Yeah, I think it'll be helpful. And also we could talk about this at the end, but the e-NABLE Facebook is also very similar to the help desk ticket. So that, you know, bringing all those things together, I think is just going to make it much easier to have, you know, I don't know, a recipe for how we do this. So I did update
stuff in the e-NABLE Facebook that doesn't make it to the hub, or are they put together?
No, they're not together. They're separate. But it's very similar questions that people have. So now that we're into July, we've got a new month events coming up. I can go through these really quick. So this is posted if anybody is curious. If you go to the forum on the sidebar, you'll see the month's e-NABLE meetings. You can also go to it's under the wiki. You'll see e-NABLE community events, and you can go through all the months in the past, but also get the latest July. We've got also a Google Doc which is accessible, and a PDF if people are interested. But let's run through these really quick. We've got the first event is today. So we've got Adil. I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, but Adil Akhtar is a CEO for Psionic, which is a bionic prosthetic company that's looking for affordable designs, but also sort of touch sensitive, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty interested to see what he has to share for us. Vivek actually shared some of these articles in the past and reached out to him. He's been managing the Bionic group, really pretty high-tech stuff. It'll be awesome to connect with him today. So 1 o'clock, if anybody is out there watching. So next up, I have structured this a little bit differently. You'll notice that instead of it being, left to right, it's up to down because of how it works on a phone. It was compressing it into sort of a single file, and it was out of order before. So anyways, we also have a new meeting leader for the education group. Ian Roy is going to be taking over, which is amazing. We've heard back from some folks, some educators doing summer programs that are going to join him. The topic is going to be summer programs. So anybody who is working on projects over the summer or looking to learn from other active universities and high school teams, definitely look into joining us. We've changed the time from July 4th, which is not an ideal time for doing this, to the Friday of that week, so July 8th. So most of the meetings this month are on Fridays. But the following Monday will be the chapter leaders meeting. We'll continue focusing on efforts in Europe. There's been some conversation going on with a couple cases related to Ukraine. Some conversations about some devices that are above the elbow, or some amputations that were above the elbow that potentially some of these device users would be interested in trying out e-NABLE devices. So join us for that meeting on July 11th if you're interested. New member meetup. Again, John is going to be present, but we've got Rick helping us out, which is wonderful, and we'll run through a couple of videos that John's edited and put together, and have some conversations with the new members. And last but not least, Rick is joining again for the focus follow-up with Dr. Richard Hurt, and they'll be looking at collaborations for DIY animal prosthetics using emerging materials and common tools found in your garage and kitchen. And if Dr. Hurt is unavailable at that specific time on July 22nd, Rick said he'd be able to meet with him and do a little interview, which would be fine. So it doesn't have to be real time. But anything you want to add to that?
No, we actually yesterday were at his hospital, and we took the new leg in to show the veterinarians that were on staff, and they really seemed to like it. So that worked out well.
That's awesome. Yeah, and the adaptations that you made to the foot looked great. Before it was sort of like almost like the leg of a chair, the rubber stopper, and you added on, it looked like a child's
a little booty. Yeah.
Booty. Yeah.
It's a little booty.
Yeah. Maybe we can look really quickly at that. That looked like a really great design. If I scroll down.
And I think what was really good is we feel it within 1 to 3 days, and for under $20, we could create these very, very quickly. It's just not it went very quickly because there's not really any 3D printing required.
That's great. And yeah, definitely keep us in the loop of how it works with your device user. See if I can open up a picture of her. If you have any photos of, actually you haven't done the sizing yet, I guess.
Well, it's all been sized and it's ready to be fitted. The problem we're having right at this moment is that Dr. Hurt just had a baby, and there's issues. So we haven't been able to bring the puppy in to do the final fitting, but we're ready to go. It's ready. It's really right now perfectly sized. The only issue is we don't know if the dog will accept it. You know, it's gonna be up to the baby dog whether or not he's going to allow it.
And in terms of hub materials, you look up animal prosthetics. There is a space with 126 members that describes a lot of different cases. Actually, most of these posts are a little bit out of date, but there's some resources in there. So it would be very cool to update some of your adventures there so people can follow along. And I think there is, let's see, the wiki isn't set up yet, link list. No, so this needs a little bit of management, but this could be something worth checking out for new users. So taking a quick peek at the hub this week. Again, there's a lot of events that I posted. A couple new members. We've got Peter Anderson, interested in getting involved. Looks like he hasn't printed a device yet, but to respond to Peter, really the badges are a wonderful way of getting oriented in how to be involved, and specifically with all the devices. So if anybody is curious, each of these has, like for the kinetic hand, the criteria involved for the badge, and then also it has a list of all the people that have claimed that badge. So these are all people that you could potentially reach out to. And if you hover over their name, you can see all the other badges that they have, which is just a great way of finding resources. You can see Masvi's got a couple. See, in other new posts, we have, let's see, where is it? University of Waterloo has a team, very exciting. So I hope folks in Waterloo are able to join us for the education meeting. It sounds like they've got some stuff starting in the fall, but yeah, definitely a lot of activities going on this summer in other parts of e-NABLE. So great to catch up with them. If anybody's interested in the newsletter, I send out an email with the monthly events, which looks something like this. If anybody is not getting these, just add a comment. We did get a message from Ron B, so I've added his email to the list, but just as a heads up. And there was a couple posts related to some devices for the European needs. Daniel Robinson posted about some lower limb devices. Let's take a look at that. So definitely, there's definitely a need out there. I don't know if I mean the device that Rick's working on for the dog is also, I guess it's a front upper
yeah,
upper limb, but sort of similar design for humans and animals in some ways. So it'll be interesting to see. He's not sure about if this is going to hold human weight. So again, maybe that's an opportunity to look into animal devices. But that's the newest post that we've got. There also was a comment from Eric Bubar. I thought this was worth mentioning, that there was an amputation. A gentleman had a lawnmower accident, was interested in a prosthetic. Joshua shared some questions about which devices and a photo, which is a little bit grisly. Some really great links were shared, some different cases, but also Eric Bubar mentioned that it really is important to have medical professionals involved, especially in the early stages, having time for a hand to heal, because if you start using a device too early, it can actually do more harm than good. So making sure that we have those important partners. I mean, especially in the early stages, it's not just, prosthetists or occupational therapists, but surgeons and, other doctors that are going to be guiding the healing process. So good point from Eric. And he also shared some feedback to Adam Gerben, interested in how this would work in Canada with the healthcare system. Eric suggested the Victoria Hand Project. And for those interested, they have some history with e-NABLE a long time ago, but based in Canada. This is a project also with 3D printed prosthetics. Some interesting designs. So that's what's new in the hub. I'm trying to think. I can give a quick, we could talk about the Facebook integration. I don't know if we necessarily need to do that during the town hall meeting. Was there anything else that stood out to you to cover today, Rick?
No, you've really, I think you've covered it.
All right. So maybe as a quick heads up, I'm going to open up the calendar. Next week, the 8th, not only do we have the e-NABLE education meeting after the town hall, again, led by Ian, but we also have a special town hall meeting, which is going to include, it's not listed yet, but we'll have guests from Deloitte in the UK, and we'll be talking about matching platforms. So that'll be something where, with a little bit of luck, we might be able to get some of our international chapters to join, and we'll talk a little bit about e-NABLE Web Central. There's a system in France that is through WordPress that is a really, I think, a wonderful option for us to consider here in the US for matching different teams together to work on cases. There's more kind of manual matching processes that happen in Turkey, but also a really robust system in Brazil. We're hoping to sort of have an open conversation about how those different platforms work to inform Deloitte, and they will be helping us to put together a sort of a recommendation of moving forward. That could be something that, again, we have the e-NABLE education meeting right afterwards. That could be something for students out there that are interested to follow the Deloitte's guide, putting together an internship project. So there's something to look out for. That's the news. So, Rick, if you want to hang on after the call, I can we can stop the recording and I can follow up with you about the Facebook management.
Okay.
And I think that'll be.
Yeah, I have not been on there, so I didn't. There might be a bunch of stuff I'm not. It could be very behind. I have not looked at it. I would appreciate that.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we can spend a couple minutes on that. That'd be awesome. And for anybody watching today, Rick, are you available to join at 1?
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
Awesome. So we'll have our Bionics meeting at 1, and that'll also be recorded. So great. So what I'll do is I will stop this recording and we can follow up on Facebook. So until next week, everybody.